Shiraz, are you here?
Hi, JC, can you hear me?
Hello, Shiraz.
Can you put it on mute, sir? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Where are you? I'm just looking for your video.
Okay, can you look at my video? My video is on.
Yeah, I saw you. So by the way, nice meeting you here, Shiraz. So by the way, I'm JC, the one who talk to you most of the time.
Absolutely.
Most of your time.
Yes.
So this is our first time to meet in person. I mean, in virtual. We
Yeah.
just talk via email and we just talk via WhatsApp. And pleasure to meet you. Such a good guy, and you look handsome.
Thank you. This is the new person.
Alright, so by the way, Shiraz, I want you to meet our team. So our team, can you give Shiraz a warm welcome?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah, so I'll request everybody to speak in English starting from now. So Shiraz will allow me to share this presentation of mine before. Yeah.
Sure.
So, by the way, guys, just to introduce to you, Shiraz is a serial entrepreneur over 20 years of successful ventures in providing marketing and turnkey solutions for over 500 organizations. Wow. He has worked with several Fortune 500 companies in the past, including AOL, HP, SBC, Yahoo, and AT&T. And did you know that he gained extended practical experiences in business in automation and efficient in use of technologies to skyrocket corporate productivity. So, other than that, among which in strong technical expertise with technologies pertaining to the websites, funnels, CRMs, ad networks, email marketing, web servers, and traffic management performance in marketing and cloud. So, just to give an idea, this guy is the guy behind our own website. So this guy is the tech guy just like me. So, but he's the guy of the rest of our website. So, without further ado, I'm gonna welcome you, Miss Shiraz. Let's call on Mohammed Shiraz Kumar. All right, so
Great.
take it away.
Thank you, JC. First of all, this is one of the warmest virtual welcome I've ever received.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you so much, guys.
And you're gonna see all of our videos open, so it might be very pleasing for you because you are a different guy from international.
Absolutely. So,
by the way, before we start, you just ask a few questions from you. Would it be okay, Shiraz?
absolutely, please feel.
So, how's your situation there in India?
The situation from COVID point of view, it's a lot better than what it was a couple of months back. It is still not fully. It's not fully recovered yet, but yes, it's getting better day by day, and hopefully, within the next couple of months, the situation is going to be a lot better.
Right, so that's a good news, though. So, all right, take it away, Shiraz.
I hope things are better at your end as well in your country.
Yeah, we're praying for that because it's getting worse.
Oh, that's not good.
All right, so but we keep on hoping that both our countries will be okay and fine, so that we can visit you anytime soon,
Okay.
right?
I hope it's going to be good for everybody. In fact, it's troubling times for the entire world, and I would like to share here that it's our entrepreneurs community which is which has the courage to go on despite all these challenges. So COVID has pushed a lot of businesses out of business, and still we are here. We are ready to go ahead. We are ready to look for alternate ways to make incomes for our homes, families, and we are a very special breed of people who never give up.
Yeah. All right.
So should we dive into the presentation right away? Because we have a lot of things to cover.
So what do you think, guys? So can
Yes,
we just
Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you have some questions for me before we get started with the presentation, it's fine.
yeah. It's okay, you can just start it anyway.
Okay, great. So I'm going to share my screen now because I've prepared a very nice presentation for you guys. Okay, there we go. tell me if you can see my screen.
Yeah, you saw it already.
Perfect. Can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So the interesting part is I was contacted by JC a couple of days back, and he was,
Yeah, I remember.
he was insisting that I should, be available in one of your meetings, and I want to express my gratitude that you guys have given me an opportunity to be with all of you and share some of my thoughts with you. And it's a privilege for me to be here. In fact, just like many of you, I shared it with JC. I started my career with insurance, so it's a great opportunity to connect back to my past, and hopefully you'll be able to take something from this presentation. In fact, there's a reason why I have named this presentation as Unstoppable You. The reason is this presentation is all about you, right? It's not about your team. It's not about your bosses. It's not about your family, right? It is specifically about you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, sure.
Perfect. So, in fact, when I was contacted by JC, I thought that I really don't want to, get into some older presentations and present something which is already there. I wanted to create something especially for you guys from scratch. So
Wow.
I have prepared this presentation especially for you, and this presentation is my gift to all of you. And
Thank you.
my motive for this presentation is that hopefully, see, the journey of being an entrepreneur is not easy, right? For some people, it's a lot of fun. For some people, it's a lot of trouble. Sometimes it's a mix of a lot of different things. So my motive for this presentation is that this presentation should make your life a little bit easy. Yeah, and as far as it's able to, give you some benefit and make your life a little bit easy, and hopefully shave a few years off your journey, right? So a typical entrepreneur journey is that we all begin with a struggle, with some kind of struggle, and with time we continue to learn, we continue to mature, we continue to understand what works in the market, what doesn't work with the market. So this presentation is designed to help you save a few years of learning, right? Even though we have little time at hand, I've tried to add certain concepts which are extremely, extremely critical for the success of any entrepreneur. All right, so let's get started. All right, so a little bit about me. My name is Shiraz Kamar. Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur and an investor. So we're not going to spend too much time on this slide. Just to give you an idea about my background. So I'm doing business for about 20 years. My age is 37 years, and I have been in a lot of different varieties of business, right from insurance to technology to life improvement workshops and trainings and seminars, and national businesses, international businesses. So I have a passion for business. I love business. I love experimentation. I love experimenting with my own life, right? And that is a brief journey. And later, when I started with insurance, I realized that I'm probably a better fit for the training industry. Then I jumped into training industry. I started my own company, which I ran for about 10 years. We used to deliver law of attraction workshops. We used to deliver mind power workshops across the country. We did that. I did that for about 10 years. I had about 200 trainers which were trained by our team, and it was a beautiful journey. That the name of the company was Golden Inspirations, and it gave me a lot of insights about life. It helped me understand my own mind, or let's say how human mind works. So I want to tell you at this point that human mind has a lot of potential. Probably whatever you think your human mind can do, in reality it can do a lot more than you can imagine. In fact, your entire life is created just by your thoughts, right? So whatever you think, it ultimately becomes your reality, right? And this is not just a conceptual thing, it happens to the dot, as in in whatever you think, it will ultimately become the reality of your life. So that's why it's said, choose your thoughts wisely. Right? Then I realized that, okay, I've spent about 10 years in the training industry, and it's time to move on. Then the technology was always my very, very strong passion. And then I started a technology company by the name Millionify. These are some of the brands which I own right now. This does not include my past brands. So Millionify is an agency where we help make millionaires. Okay, so people who typically small businesses and medium businesses, they contact us, and we help them build their websites. We build their email marketing, their marketing strategies, automation. We do everything for them related to technology, including marketing, which is needed for them to become a $1 million company. Okay, so Millionify is an agency, and then Sitesfly is a beautiful platform where you can build websites, you can build funnels, you can store your contacts there in a CRM, and a lot of other stuff. JC already is aware of this brand, of course.
Yeah, we're a user of that.
Yes, absolutely. And this is one of the fastest websites you're going to find on the internet.
Yeah, and the best it is.
Okay, there's another brand by the name Sitescraft, which is again in the hosting business, website hosting, but it specializes in WordPress hosting, if you are aware of what it is. So that's about a small journey, and I think that's enough for us to get started with the real presentation. So let's move forward. All right, so before we get started with the real presentation, I would request you to keep your notepads handy, whether you use notebooks or you use notepads online, offline, doesn't matter. Keep them handy. I'm sure you're going to find some very interesting stuff in this presentation, and you will need your note-taking applications to write them down. Okay, that's going to help you in future. And of course, I would encourage all of you to write down your questions. Whenever you come across anything which you want to discuss more about, you can of course jump in during the presentation, or you can, if it can wait, you can probably wait towards the end of the presentation. We have dedicated a section of this presentation especially for questions and answers. And of course, I have tried my best to include some critical topics in this presentation, but to make it even more powerful, you got to ask right questions. It's a beautiful saying, when you ask right questions, you get the right answers. You never get the answers without the right questions. Okay, so let's move forward. Right, so I have tried to include some very, very critical ideas which are essential for success. So I've tried not to clutter this presentation with too many ideas. These are 6 success ideas which are actionable. Why actionable? If you understand them properly, you can implement in your life right now, right? And the purpose is that you understand them and implement right away, so that you can start moving faster in your success journey. Okay, so let's quickly look at the ideas. Okay, external versus internal motivation. Unavoidable skills. So when we want to become successful, there are certain skills which we need to acquire, and they are simply unavoidable. We cannot avoid them. You need to have fire in your belly. What that means and how to get that, we're going to discuss that in detail. Sales. Sales is extremely critical. No matter what kind of success you need, whether you're in the business of sales or not, irrespective of what situation of life you are in, what career you are in, what industry you are in, sales is extremely critical. We're going to discuss more about it, right? Knowledge. When I say knowledge, you need to have knowledge about everything possible in your life, and we'll discuss that more in detail. And as a bonus idea, I've added Genius Code, right? It's a secret formula which I have invested several years to learn, and this is a tried and tested formula which will help you become a genius if you're not already one. Alright, so let's discuss about motivation. So motivation is a very critical factor, and motivation. A lot of people say that faith can move mountains. That is correct, and just like faith, motivation can also move mountains, right? So, in order to do anything, in order to achieve anything in life, we need motivation, and there are typically two different types of motivations, right? And just a minute, please. Alright, so there are typically two different types of motivation. One is internal motivation and another one is external motivation, right? Let's discuss about them in detail. So, external motivation is if you want to do something in life, let's say you want to track more sales, you want to get more customers, you want to move ahead in your career, and in order to do that, you need some motivation. Maybe you want to attend some motivational seminars, you want to watch some motivational videos, maybe you want to speak with your friends and they motivate you. Here is something which may sound a little harsh. If you need external motivation in order to do whatever you want to do right now in life, then you are in the wrong industry. External motivation. When we need external motivation, we are dependent on external situations, external people. We are dependent on others, right? If you are in the right industry, if you are in an industry which you are really, really passionate about, you want to really move forward in that, you would not need an external motivation. So there are certain problems with external motivation. If you watch a nice motivational video, if you watch a nice seminar you attended, you speak with your friends and family members, they're going to motivate you. You will remain motivated for a very short period of time, right? What happens after some time is that motivation fades off, which is not a very good situation, right? If you want to become successful in whatever the meaning of success is for you, if you want to become successful, you need to cultivate internal motivation, right? For that, whatever you need to change, if you try to get internal motivation but you're not getting it, probably you're in the wrong industry, probably you're doing the wrong job. If you're in the wrong job, you will not have trouble finding internal motivation. So I would highly recommend you to cultivate internal motivation. Make yourself self-motivated. You do not need external motivation. So if you understand internal motivation and if you are able to cultivate internal motivation in your life, you would find a new you. You will become unstoppable. That's the purpose of this presentation. This is not a motivational presentation. The purpose of this presentation is to make you unstoppable. You want to achieve something in life. My purpose is that after this presentation, you should have enough force inside you to drive you forward and help you achieve success, right? And that force cannot come from outside. That has to come from inside. Okay, so you need to cultivate that. You need to understand the differences. External motivation is never permanent. However, internal motivation is extremely critical. So when you feel excited in the morning when you wake up, right? When you come out of your bed, you smile. And when you go to your bed, you smile again that yes, it was a beautiful day when you go back to bed. And when you wake up, you're excited for work that, okay, this is what I'm going to do and I'm so excited about it. So unless and until you find that internal motivation, it's very, very difficult to become successful. So let's together find ways. So it won't come naturally. For some people, it's very, very natural. For others, you may have to push yourself really, really hard in order to generate that internal motivation. But there is no escape to it. You want to become successful, you need to find internal motivation. Okay, let's move forward. Alright, so this is another topic which is very, very critical. Unavoidable skills. So skills are your tools for success. Now think about a carpenter. If you ask a carpenter to make a table for you or make something else for you without his tools, do you think he'll be able to make one? No, it will be impossible for a carpenter to make a table or chair or a cupboard without his tools. In the same way, if you ask a mason to build a wall for you or build a house for you, without his tools, he cannot. Right? Entrepreneurship is no different. If you want to become a successful entrepreneur, you need your tools right. If you don't have the right tools, you will not succeed. Plain and simple. Right? There's certain very, very critical skills which you need to cultivate, learn, and make sure they are in your kitty when you move forward towards the success. Okay? Let's move forward and look at what these skills are, what these tools are. Alright, so what I did was, I'm not sure if you remember these faces on the right side. These are some very, very popular people. One of the richest people on earth. These are multi-billionaires, right? So I have spent more than 10 years of my life studying the richest people on earth. Okay? Why? Because if you want to achieve something, you need to understand those people who have already reached that level in life. Okay? So if you look at these people, we have Steve Jobs, of course, owner of Apple. We have Warren Buffett right under that. We have Bill Gates. Warren Buffett is the owner of Berkshire Hathaway. He is one of, not one of the, in fact, the biggest investor we have ever seen. Then we have Bill Gates from Microsoft. Mark Cuban, if some of you watch Shark Tank, you would remember him instantly. And we have Jeff Bezos, who is one of the richest, in fact, on second number right now, owner of Amazon. We have Robert Kiyosaki. You're gonna love this guy. He is really, really good person. He has amazing financial knowledge. He's into financial trainings. He's the author of the book called Rich Dad and Poor Dad. Okay, if you follow him, Robert Kiyosaki, he's going to train you in a lot of financial stuff. Of course, we know Elon Musk, owner of SpaceX, Tesla, and the Boring Company, and many other companies. Sir Richard Branson, owner of course, Virgin Atlantic, which is a flight company, and Virgin Galactic, which is into space tourism. And I've very closely followed these people and many more like these. So there are certain skills and attributes all these people have in common. So the reason I'm introducing you to these people is to share this very important idea that the people who are at that level, on the people who are richest, I could find certain things which were kind of common for all of them, right? Which makes me come to a conclusion that if you are able to acquire those specific skills, we will be able to reach the same level in life. Okay, so what are these skills which are kind of common for all these people? So here's the list. Numbers. They are all of them. In fact, you'll be surprised to know I have never come across any exception. Anybody who is super rich, super successful, they are all exceptionally good at numbers, mathematics, calculations, adding things, subtracting things. When they get an opportunity, they immediately calculate it and grab it. Their analytical skills are one of the best you're going to find, right? So this is one of the skill which is extremely, extremely critical for success. Some of you may be really good at numbers. Some of you may not be good at numbers. Right? In fact, you will rarely find people who are going to be good at all these skills which I'm going to share with you. But the idea is the skills which we are good at, we have to nurture them. And the skills which we are not good at, we have to learn them anyhow. Okay? So numbers is one of them. Let's move forward. Communication. You need to be really, really good at communication. If you're not able to communicate your ideas, what you think with other people, you will not get what you want. Whether you are in sales or you are in any other kind of business, communication is critical. Yeah, we are social animals, right? We cannot live without communities, and we cannot become successful without communities. Unless and until you share your idea with other people, it's not going to work. So communication is extremely critical. Some of them are very some of you may be very good at communication. Others who are not, you need to cultivate that. There's no way around it. So especially if you're in any business which is directly connected to sales, it is extremely critical skill. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Finance. As an entrepreneur, we cannot do away with the financial knowledge. You want to earn money, you need to understand money, plain and simple. If you don't like money, then probably you're not fit for being an entrepreneur, right? So it's important to get that financial knowledge from all different directions. Most of you are in insurance industry, so it is a very critical part of the financial knowledge. You can learn so much about finance from insurance just by understanding how different products work, right? What is term insurance? What is endowment insurance? How do you create products when you mix and match those things, and how the overall insurance industry works? Do not just focus on the products which you have to sell. Also go behind their behind the door knowledge about insurance. See how insurance companies work. Do you know that insurance companies are one of the longest lasting companies? So insurance companies typically last for more than 100 years. However, majority of businesses fail. So what is that special with the insurance industry that you need to know? Try to understand how the insurance company works. How the back end of the insurance industry works. How the legal part of insurance works, right? So try to understand that information from finance point of view, and not just insurance. You need to understand money overall, how the taxation works in your country or whichever country you're doing business with, right? It's important to understand money, how to grow money, what is the standard rate in which the money can be grown. Can you break that standard number? Can you go and grow your money faster than that? If you don't understand money, you will not be able to grow it faster, right? Insurance will help you earn certain money, but if you don't invest that money in the right way, it will be difficult to become rich, right? So you need to understand everything about money. So going forward, I would highly encourage you to learn about money, about finance from all different directions, right? Just continue learning, and ultimately you'll realize that you know so much more about money, and you'll feel more confident about how to invest money, how to earn money, and how to play around with it. Let's move forward. The next skill is people. This is again a very critical skill which I observe that all the top billionaires of the world have. They have a very good understanding of people. They are exceptionally good at psychology. They understand. If they just look at you, they're going to tell you whether you're going to make it or not. They understand people really well. How? They understand psychology. They have read lots and lots of books about psychology. They have met all the top people in the psychology industry, right? So when you know people, it will make your life a lot easier. You'll be able to understand. Let's imagine this way: you have 20 customers and you schedule your meetings with them, and within the very first meeting or within the 5 minutes of the meeting, if you get to know whether this person is really going to convert or not, then it's going to make your life so much easy. Yeah, you're not going to waste your time on the ones which are not going to convert, and you can put more of your energy onto the ones who are going to convert, right? And this is such an important skill. It will come handy in all areas of business, not just sales, but every area. Let's move forward. Marketing. I know a lot of people who are scared of marketing, but unfortunately, it is one of the key skills all the successful people have. They are kind of expert at marketing. What makes them an expert? They think creatively. They think in a different way, right? They try to find ways to reach people in different ways to make lasting impact. So marketing is one skill. This is very, very vast topic. It is definitely beyond the scope of this training. But if you understand the idea, begin learning about what marketing is, how to get better at marketing. This is extremely critical. Let's move forward. Sales. We're going to cover sales in depth in the coming slides. But just to give you an idea, irrespective of your professional career, sales is so critical. You always sell. You sell yourself to everybody. You sell yourself to your friends, to your family members. When you go and make money in the outer world, you need sales. In order to convert customers, you need sales. So you need to be exceptionally good at sales. Of course, you need to be good at communications first, because sales cannot really happen without good communication. So communication is like a background, let's say, underlying skill. So once you're good at communication, that's when you begin to learn and experiment with sales. So sales is extremely, extremely critical. We need to understand it in depth and become master at it. And when I say master, it's not just about going out in the market and selling something. It's about understanding each and everything there is available about sales, how sales works, how psychology can help you with sales, and different principles, different strategies behind sales. Try and understand and learn everything there is to learn about sales. And of course, it's going to take a few years for you to master sales, but ultimately you'll reach there, and this skill is going to help you a lot. Next one, persistence. Again, extremely, extremely important skill, which is again there with all the top people. When you want something, you have to get it. So persistence is the key. Imagine this. If you want to reduce weight, or if you want to become healthy, you wake up early in the morning one day, you go to the gym, and you continue to do exercise the whole day. That's not going to give you health. What is going to give you health is when you are persistent about it, when you wake up every single day, when you go ahead and take that one extra step every single day towards your better health. So that is going to make you healthy. In the same way, success works in a very similar way. You have to put efforts into it every single day. You don't have to put all the efforts in one day, but you have to continue doing it every single day of your life and continue to move forward. Even if you move a little bit forward every single day, it's fine. But persistence is the key. You have to push forward every single day without fail. Right? So this is again very, very critical skill. Thinking big. All the people sitting on the top, they are there because they thought big. And there's a very powerful law of universe called law of attraction. Okay, which simply states whatever you think becomes your reality. Okay, so people who think big, they are able to achieve big. But the journey starts from thinking big. Whatever you're thinking right now, try to push it further. Right? For example, if you want to get 5 sales in a week, try to push that further. Try making 7 sales in a week. Try making 10 if you're already at 7. Right? If you earn X amount of money in a month, think about how can you push it further. And then again push it further. Then again push it further. Every single month, try to push harder and try to earn more than what you earned last month. Okay, and do not be scared of thinking big. Now think on a very, very grand level. How about one of the largest companies in the world? You want to start, how about becoming one of the richest people in the world, right? So unless and until you think really, really big on the world scale, on the global scale, your journey will be slow, right? You will definitely move forward, but your movement will be slow. If you want to move really, really fast, you need to think really, really big. This is again a very common skill with people on top. You need to think extremely, extremely big. There's a very famous thought: if your dream does not scare you, it is not big enough. Yeah. So if you think about something, whatever you want to achieve in life, if you don't get scared just by thinking about it, then it's probably too small for you, right? So try to find your dreams, which can give you that, jittery feeling. Oh my God, will I be able to achieve it or not? You know, that little bit of scary feeling. Will I be able to achieve it? Right? Try to push yourself further up. Yeah. Think big, bigger than what you currently think, no matter what you're thinking right now. Let's move forward. Fire in your belly. This is again very, very, very important. I cannot emphasize this enough. In fact, this is the most important part of the presentation. We're going to cover this on the next slide. There we go. Fire in your belly. So, fire in the belly, what does that mean? It means that go-getter attitude, that if you decide to do something, you have to do it, right? Unless or until you have that exponential amount of power within your mind to go and achieve something, you will not be able to achieve it, right? So think about a rocket. The rocket literally gets fire in the belly, only then the rocket is able to rise in the sky. Without the fire in the belly, rocket cannot rise, right? In the same way, just like rocket, we need to put fire in our belly. We need to become, power ourselves, right? When we do that, we'll be able to rise higher in life, right? So you cannot fly without fire in your belly. Let's move further and discuss this in detail. Right, so I would like to share a very nice story with you. Okay, you must have heard about the statement which says burn your own boats. When you want to do something, burn your own boats. I would like to share this story with you. Long back in 1519, there was a place by the name Veracruz. Okay, now this was an island, and in Veracruz, Veracruz was famous because they had one of the biggest, treasure of the world, right? And that treasure was guarded by another community by the name Aztec. Okay, so Aztec community was guarding this treasure, which was one of the biggest in the world, and it was so famous that a lot of people, most of them, knew about this treasure. And back then, when you get to know about treasure, what you do, people used to attack the island. A lot of people used to attack the island in order to get that treasure. Some very, very large armies of the world with thousands and thousands of people tried to attack the island, but nobody was able to get that treasure. Aztecs were really, really good at protecting their treasure. But there was a man by the name Hernan Cortes. Hernan Cortes decided that he wanted to get that treasure, right? He did not have enough resources. He had an army, but the army was very small. He had about 600 people. 500 of them were warriors and 100 of them were sailors. But he decided that he wanted to get that treasure. So what he did was, he decided that he's going to motivate his people. So he began to motivate his people that right now we are going through a bad life. We don't have enough money. We don't have enough resources to get proper food by the end of the day, right? How about we go to this island and get that treasure back, and then we will have enough money to survive in these difficult times, and also not just ourselves, our future generations will also be able to survive in a very good way, right? So he motivated all his people, and he took 11 ships and started sailing towards this island of Veracruz. Okay, so now during the journey, it was a long journey. So during the journey, he tried to motivate all of them, but he realized that some of the people, about 50% of them, were able to believe him and were able to look at the bigger picture, that what all they can do in life once they get the treasure, but the remaining 50% were not sure. Okay, which is a bad situation when you have something to achieve and half of your team does not believe in it. it becomes very, very difficult to achieve what you want, right? So he created a strategy. He knew that before him there were lots and lots of different armies with thousands of people. They were also not able to get that treasure. So he knew that with this small army, with half people motivated and half people not, it will be extremely difficult, next to impossible, to get that treasure. So what he did was, once the ships reached the island, he made all the people rest for the whole day. He did not immediately attack to get the treasure. He let his entire army rest for a day. And next morning, when they woke up, he went in front of them and said, he was about to, everybody expected that he's going to give some pre-war speech. But what he did was,
Hello, sir. I see you. We put you on mute. Sorry.
okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Perfect. So when the morning started, he went in front of his army and said, everybody go back to the ships and burn them. And everybody was shocked, right? They were thinking like, oh my God, if you burn the ships, how will we go back, right? So he said to his army, now go ahead and burn the ships, and you have only one option, and that is to take the treasure. Once we take the treasure, we will go back in their ships, not ours, right? So everybody was against the idea of burning ships, but ultimately they had to listen to him, and they all burned their 11 ships, and they were there without ships. So there was no way to go back. Now they had only two choices, either to take treasure or to die, right? Which one is a better option? So everybody thought, okay, let's go ahead and take treasure then. There's no fun in dying, right? So now, because the boats were burnt, there is no way for them to go back. Everybody was like, started thinking with full focus only in one direction, and that was success. And to their own surprise, those people were able to get that treasure. They won the war and went back with their ships. Okay, so this is where the story came from, and this is the story which made this statement popular: burn your own boats. So this is extremely critical to achieve success, right? Some of you may be in a very comfortable state in life. Some of you may not be in a very comfortable state. And the point here is, if you want to become successful, we have to kill our plan Bs, right? Sometimes we have an alternate way that, okay, we want to succeed, but if we don't, maybe we'll do something else. We have to kill that maybe. We have to burn our boats. If we don't burn our boats, this is the beauty of our mind. Unless and until we burn our boats, our mind does not activate, or let's say does not generate power enough to succeed. Whenever you have an alternate option at hand, that okay, we'll try to succeed, if we fail, we'll do something else, we have to get rid of that thought, right? So if we have that plan B in place, we will not succeed. We have to burn our boats. We have to make ourselves uncomfortable, right? As far as we remain in that comfort zone, it's extremely difficult to succeed, right? The faster you burn your boats, the faster you'll be able to succeed. Okay, so that's a very important lesson from this presentation. We all need to burn the boats if you want to rise higher. There is no fun, as Nelson Mandela says, there is no fun in thinking small, right? So we all can continue to do what we currently do, or we all can burn our boats and achieve something much larger. And when we say much larger, it's not just about your financial success, it's not just about your career success, it's about giving your family what they deserve, it's about giving yourself what you deserve. And also, when you have more money at hand, you can do so many greater things, you can do so much good to other people, You can support other people in a much better way. You can support your community. When you have money at your hand, right, you can do whatever you can imagine. So money is a very beautiful tool. And when you have it at your disposal, you have more power. Okay, so let's move forward. After burning our boats, we have something else. We have to develop a go-getter attitude. Now, what is a go-getter attitude is, let's say if you decide to do something in life, that you want to do this, right? You can do all your research before deciding, no problem with that, right? But if you decide that you want to achieve something, you also have to decide that you will do no matter what it takes, right? For example, if you want to get X amount of sales in a month or in a year, but let's say you thought really big and gave yourself a big number and you decided on that, but later during your journey you realize you probably don't even have skills enough to achieve that target, right? So when I say you need to develop go-getter attitude, that means even if you have to acquire new skills which you don't have right now, you got to do that. If you have to take a step which makes you very uncomfortable, you have to do that. You may be scared of interacting with new people, but if you have to sell, you have to go ahead and do that. Without interacting with new people, you cannot sell, right? You have to use uncomfortable words sometimes. You may be scared while talking to customers that, oh, if I say this, I may lose a sale, right? That's okay. There's always a next sale. But you have to make yourself uncomfortable. You have to push yourself hard. If you decide something, no matter how big or small you decide, you need to commit to yourself that whatever it takes, you have to achieve this. There is no alternate to it, right? And trust me, all the skills which I shared with you on the last slide, a lot of us lack a lot of them. We're not born with those skills. We have to push ourselves harder and harder in order to acquire those skills. And that's where go-getter attitude is extremely needed, essential, right? Let's move forward. Cultivate your hunger. Now this is very important. Now this is one of the skills which is also very common in top billionaires. You need to cultivate to not be satisfied. If you are satisfied with what you have in life, okay, it will probably give you a temporary happiness, that you're happy with whatever you have in life, but you will not get more. You will not be able to push forward. You will not be able to go to the next level. In order to go to the next level, you need to cultivate your hunger. You need to ask yourself that I want more from life. I want more from my career. I want more from my industry. I want more from my business. I want to generate more money next month or this month. And you have to cultivate that hunger, right? This has to, just like internal motivation, this hunger needs to come from inside you. When you become, that your hunger level reaches to that threshold, you will see that you will start growing in life, right? Without this hunger to get more, it won't work. One of the key success skills. Okay, so we need to cultivate that hunger. So let's move forward. Very important skill, extremely essential part of this presentation. Just like we discussed, no matter what industry we are in, no matter what we are selling, sales and marketing. And I want to emphasize it here. I'm not just saying sales, I'm also saying marketing, right? They go hand in hand. If you understand the difference, it's great. If you don't understand the difference, sales is an act of selling a product or a service when you interact with customers. Marketing is altogether a different ball game. It's about how to reach the right target market. If you don't have understanding of marketing, you cannot sell very good, right? Maybe you'll invest all your time, energy, and money into trying to sell someone who is probably not even your target market, right? So when you have the understanding of marketing, when you understand what is your best target market and how to reach them, and how to approach them in a unique way, in a different way, so that it creates a lasting impression. That is called marketing. Marketing, as I said before, it's very, very vast. It's beyond the scope of this presentation. But once you start, the easiest way to start on learning marketing is to get on YouTube, search about marketing, start watching all the videos you can find, hundreds of them, yeah, around both sales and marketing. So I'm assuming that all of you are in insurance industry, so you know how to sell to people. So sales is probably you have that sales skills. Maybe some of you are average salespeople, some of you are really, really good salespeople, but sales is incomplete if you don't understand your market, if you don't understand your customer. So marketing is extremely critical. Okay, and let's move forward and discuss things in detail, right? Okay, so this is one mistake which majority of salespeople do, right? A lot of salespeople try to convince people to buy their products. Even in insurance industry, I've come across so many salespeople in insurance and also other industries. They explain their products to their customers and they tell them about the industry from scratch and they try to sell. Let me help you understand that if somebody doesn't understand your industry, if somebody doesn't understand what you're selling, and if somebody does not have that need, there are very high chances that they will not buy from you. Insurance is a product which cannot be sold. In a way, if your customer doesn't understand what insurance is, and if the customer does not know whether they need it or not, they are probably not your customer. They are not your target market, right? If somebody needs insurance, they know it themselves that they need it. For example, when people, you need to understand the numbers, you need to understand your past customers. Let's look at the next point here. You need to understand the past sales data. Let's say you were able to crack, let's say, 10 or 15 clients last month or some more over the last year. It's important to understand about them, right? So what kind of life situation were they in? How many kids did they have? Were they married or not? If they had kids, how old were the kids, right? If they were married, were they newly married or were they in the later stage of their life, right? We need to know everything about customers. So when we know about them, we understand who are the customers, who are the kind of people who actually go ahead and buy your products, right? So my suggestion is, do not waste your time with those customers who don't even understand your product, right? If somebody does not understand how insurance works, he's not going to buy your insurance, at least now. Yeah. So, or any product for that matter. This is applicable to every industry, every product. If your customer does not understand whether they have their need or not, they are probably not the right customer for you. They will probably buy in future, probably a few years later, but not instantly. The idea to sell more is to know when they are ready to buy, or use the knowledge of marketing and data to understand how to reach the ones who are ready to buy, right? Think of it like two different customers. One of them is probably just searching on insurance or any other thing, that okay, what is insurance, what kind of insurances are there. Probably they know, they're just researching on the what is the concept of insurance. They may buy it in future, but they may not buy instantly. However, if somebody is specifically looking for certain types of plan, whether it's for investment or it's for security of life, they know that they need insurance for sure. They are probably just testing whether to buy it from your company or another company. Then they are the right customer because they are hot. And we need to understand the difference between the hot leads and warm or probably the cold ones, right? Once we understand the difference, we'll be able to put all our energies into finding and selling to the hot buyers. This is very, very critical. A lot of salespeople invest way too much time without understanding the difference. They continue to explain people what is insurance, how insurance will help you, and this is how you will feel better after buying insurance. This is how your family will feel better after buying insurance. If the customer is right for you, if it's the right target market, you won't have to explain anything to that customer. He would already know. He would have already done his own research, and they will just contact you, and you will just contact them. They will just tell you that, okay, I probably need this product. Thank you. That's about it, and the sale happens. Okay, let's move forward. So studying data is extremely critical for every industry. This is where marketing comes into picture. So it's important to look at your own past sales. It's also important to look at other data, whichever data you can find in the market. Insurance is such a popular industry. You're going to find a lot of data online. Do your own research. Research about what kind of customers convert faster, and put all your energies there. And then about how to find these customers, how to reach them, and then convert. Right? Do not waste your energy in explaining from scratch, and it's going to push your sales lower. Right? Let's move forward. Okay, it's important to use a little bit of technology in sales. Let's say if you have a few hundred prospects, it will be almost impossible for you to remember all the names, all the details, the conversation you have had with them in the past. It's important to use some kind of CRM. If your company provides you CRM service, it's great. If you don't, just go ahead and get any good CRM from the market, and use a specific section which is called sales pipeline. And trust me on this, it's going to save you years of hard work. If you don't use this, you're going to lose a lot of sales. You will not be able to reach your customers at the right time, and you're going to lose sales. Okay, use a CRM, put all the data about that customer or all the customers your prospects you have in the CRM. Why is it important, and what is the sales pipeline? If you look at the image on the right side, there are different sections. Every sales has multiple stages, right? For example, leads, sales calls, follow-up, conversion, sales, and you cannot treat all of them the same way. If you're talking to someone for the first time, you cannot treat the person similar to if you're talking to a person for the fifth time. Right? They are in different stages of sales. You need to understand that difference. Any good CRM will help you put people into different stages, and you can use a little bit of automation. You can predefine certain kind of emails for different stages. For example, if you get a lead online, your leads will automatically get certain emails telling them about your company, telling them about the products you sell, so that when you call them the next day, they would already have some information. Or you can tell them that I sent you a mail last night. Did you go through that? Okay. Right. Similarly, right after talking to the person for the first time, you can predefine in the CRM that right after the first call, this email should go out, right? Saying, thank you, it was amazing talking to you. We just discussed about these products, and here is some more information about the products, right? So similarly, use technology for automation. Use technology to segregate all your leads, prospects, customers into different stages, and please treat them differently, right? If you continue to treat them in the same way, you're going to lose sales, and you will not be able to get that impact. Let's move forward. Next, very important point is selling value and not the product. A lot of salespeople do this mistake. They go to customers and tell them that, okay, this is what our company does. These are the products we have. As per your life situation, this product is going to help you. Please go ahead and buy this product. It's important to understand, customers don't buy products. Customers don't buy services. They buy value. First, you need to understand their life journey. You need to understand in what situation of life they are in, what kind of requirements they have, and you need to sell the value. So when we sell insurance, we're not really selling insurance as a product. We are selling them peace of mind, right? So it's important to first understand, do they really need peace of mind at that point of time? Probably they are in a life stage where they are already very peaceful. They're not really looking for peace of mind. They probably will not even buy your insurance, right? So it's important to understand what is their background, where are they coming from, what kind of life situation are they in, and do they really need this value or not? If they need the value, then go ahead and explain the value. Don't explain the features of the product in the beginning. That point will come when the customer will ask you, okay, I'm ready to buy an insurance or anything else. Please tell me a little bit more details about what you offer. At that point of time, go ahead and explain about your product in detail, technicalities, right? First, you have to sell the value, how the product can make an impact on their life. How can it make them feel, how can they feel more secure? How can they, protect their family using insurance, right? So it's important to sell the value first. Once they are sold with value, only then get on to the details. Before that, there is no point getting into details. They will not buy the details. Customers don't buy details, they buy value. Plain and simple. Let's move forward. It's important, this is another very important sales concept. It's important to be in front of your customers. So, first of all, you need to understand how many prospects you have. If you have let's say 10, 15, 20, 50 prospect, you have to use different set of technologies. If you have few hundred prospects, you have to use another type of technology. And if you have a few thousand prospects, you need to use different kind of technology. For example, if you have approximately 100 prospects, you can probably create WhatsApp groups or some chat groups in which you can send some regular messages, you can send SMSs, you can send emails, right? If you have a few thousand, you'll have to restrict yourself to email marketing. But the idea is, if you have some maybe 10 or 15 prospects, you can call them up every now and then. The idea is, you can never be sure about when the customer is ready to buy, right? You don't know when they have a need in life, and when they have, they will not go ahead and tell you unless until they remember you, right? So it's important to be in front of your customers regularly so that when they have a need, they will think about you first. Okay, so let's take an example from insurance industry. You contacted a customer, but they probably like insurance, but they are not ready to buy it right now, right? When you do follow up on a regular basis, and you don't really have to push from sales point of view, you can simply send them occasional greetings. Hey, how are you doing? It's been a long time. I just wanted to send you a message and drop a hi, something like that. And you can send a couple of other messages. I came across something very nice. I wanted to share that with you. This can be of some kind of help to you. Customize those messages. Be in front of your customer all the time, regularly. When I say all the time, it doesn't mean that you bother them every single day. Probably once in a week, couple of times in a month. Be there so that they know what. First, in the first couple of interaction, tell them what you do, and in the later interactions, you don't really have to repeat what you do. You don't have to repeat about what you sell, what your products are, what your services and company are. You just have to become, kind of friends with them. Yeah, and this is where the next point comes in. People buy from people they love and not from salespeople. If you act like a salesperson, they will not buy from you. You have to become friends with them. I'll give you an example from my own life, right? We have all kind of salespeople in my company. You'll be surprised to know that I sell a lot more than all of them combined. Why? Because I start my conversation with my customers saying, hey brother, how are you doing today? Right? Just that statement, hey brother, how are you doing today, has got me more sales than my entire sales team combined. Why? When we say these statements, when we understand them better, when we know them, when we become friends with them, right? When we treat them like brothers and sisters, right? You break that intimate circle, right? And they would want to buy from you whenever they are ready, right? So make friends with your customers and not salesperson. So when I say become friends, you have to become genuine friends. You have to give them genuine advice. When they ask you certain questions, you have to give your genuine answers, right? You have to cultivate that relationship. You have to nurture those prospects, right? And you have to act and be a true friend. When you become their friends, they're going to buy from you whenever they have to. If they don't have to, they will not buy. When they have to, they will buy from you. And even if they don't need your product or service, but some of their referrals need, maybe their friends and family members need insurance, they're going to refer you to them. Why? Simply because they trust you. If they don't trust you, they will not refer you. Right? So it's important to breach that intimate circle. Sales, as a salesperson, you can never do that. Right? You have to break the barrier of salesperson. You can probably be a salesperson on the very first call for the first few minutes, but after that, you have to breach it. If you don't break into their intimate circle, you will not be able to sell as much. And this strategy is so successful, you'll be surprised to know when you start implementing it, you will be able to, I'm not exaggerating this number, you'll be able to sell 10 times more with the same amount of efforts. Just this single strategy. Okay? So when you breach their intimate circle and sell 10 times more. Let's move forward. Okay, this is another very, very important thing. If you want to sell, you have to fall in love with money. Plain and simple. If you don't love money, probably sales is not for you. You have to, if you already love the money, that's amazing. If you don't, you have to cultivate that love, right? You need to understand how important money is and how it can help you in your life, how it can help your family members, how it can help your other people around you. Whatever that is, you have to fall in love with money. If you don't, you won't be able to sell it, right? And even if you have to cultivate that love, please go ahead and do that. You know, we all are from different countries, different backgrounds. We have heard different stories as during our childhood. Sometimes we have heard good stories about money, and in a lot of cases we have heard bad stories about money, which tells us that, you know, things like money is the root of all evil, and money is going to make you a bad person, and you can probably name hundreds of such statements, right? You have to get past those statements. You need to understand that money is a tool, and the tool can be used for whatever you want. You want to do bad with money, you can. You want to do good with money, you can. And when you have big amount of money, you can do big good things as well. Right? Money is just a tool. Money is not good or bad. Money is just a tool. What you do with money is what makes all the difference. So find your reasons to love money and fall in love with money. If you don't, you won't be successful in sales. Plain and simple. And if you're not successful in sales, you will not be successful in business. No matter what business you're in. You're in the insurance industry or any other industry, you need to be successful. And for that, you need to fall in love with money. Let's move forward. This is, again, we are towards the end of the presentation. And it is a topic which is very, very close to my heart. And I want to tell you that I am obsessed with knowledge. Right? Knowledge is extremely, extremely powerful. I remember when I was a child, my father used to tell me, son, knowledge is extremely powerful. And remember, no matter what you learn, it will always come handy. Okay? So when I say knowledge equals to money, I mean it. And it's not about what you learn specifically. I'm not saying that you have to learn about money or business or anything specific, which you definitely have to. But here, in this point, I want to emphasize, you need to learn whatever you can, whether it's related to your business or not, whether it's related to your life or not, it doesn't matter. Knowledge is power. Knowledge equals to money, right? Learn whatever you can, whatever you like, whatever you're passionate about it. Even if you don't feel passionate about it, learn as much as possible. Cultivate the habit of learning. Become passionate about learning. In fact, I have made a rule in my life. I never go to bed without learning at least one new thing every single day, and I'm following that for over 20 years now. And in most cases, I don't learn just one thing. I probably end up learning 20 things because I'm obsessed with learning. You can probably start with one thing. Yeah, just give yourself a small target that before you go to bed, you have to learn one new thing in life. It doesn't matter what that new thing is about, what industry is it related to, what topic it is related to. It doesn't really matter. Learn at least one new thing every single day for the rest of your life, and few years later, you're going to come back to me and thank me. It's so powerful. Okay, you will be a totally transformed person when you learn every single day something new. Okay, let's move forward to the next slide. Now, this is very, very important. I wanted to share this with you. It's called the cone of learning. And before that, there is a very powerful statement by Confucius. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. Okay, so this is a very famous learning cone. The source of that is, the person's name is Edgar Dale, who designed this in 1969. I was trained on this cone by Robert Kiyosaki directly. So I attended one of his seminar, and he explained the concept of this cone. It's very, very important. So now when you understand your knowledge equals to money. So whatever knowledge, whatever magnitude of knowledge you have in your head, you are going to make equal amount of money. And this is a tried and tested thing. You can try it for yourself if you want, right? The more you learn, the more money you'll make, and irrespective, it doesn't really matter what that topic is. Okay, so in order to improve that learning experience, we need to understand how learning works. Okay, so when you read a book or ebook or read anything, you will be able to retain only 10% of what you learn after 2 weeks. This is what the cone of learning says. When you hear words, it increases, and when you see something, it increases to 30%. If you look at the triangle very carefully, when you watch a movie, it is more immersive, right? When you watch a movie, you see and hear at the same time, right? When you see somebody demonstrate something, that impacts you in two different directions. In other words, when you use all your senses to learn, right, you will be able to retain more. In watching a movie, you hear using your ear, you see the images, moving images, so it's more immersive. When you watch the demonstration, then also it's more immersive. Okay, and when you let somebody show you exactly how things are done, it's more immersive. You will be able to retain 50% of what you see and hear after 2 weeks. Right? When you go further, when you discuss about it, let's say you learn a topic from any source, and you go ahead and you discuss it with your friend, right? You will be able to retain that even more, right? So it's a very good practice. No matter. So when I shared with you, when I requested all of you to learn at least one new thing every day, if you add that with a little bit of discussion, you can probably discuss it with your friends, your family members, your teammates. It doesn't really matter. Even if the discussion is for just 5 minutes about it, right? If you're able to discuss that topic with anybody, you'll be able to retain about 70% after 2 weeks, right? And the most important part is when you learn something and when you do it yourself, you implement those things. Yeah? Doing a dramatic presentation, simulating the real experience, and doing the real thing. When you actually go ahead and do things, the new things, you will be able to retain maximum. That's about 90%. So I just wanted to share this very, very powerful cone of learning. When you implement some of these things, you'll be able to retain more. So just to give you a context which you can use every single day, reading from book, learning from book, it's a great way of learning. However, if you instead watch YouTube videos or any other form of video, you'll be able to retain more. You'll be able to learn faster and you'll be able to retain more and more. Okay. So similarly, the further you go towards the bottom of the triangle here, bottom of the cone, you'll be able to learn more. Let's move forward. Okay, so here is the bonus part of this presentation, what I call as the genius code. And this is also the last slide of this presentation. We are towards the end now. Now this is also a result of my very long research. I have always been obsessed with human mind, the capabilities of human mind. So I have been doing research since as long as I can remember, since I was a child, right? I used to always believe that, okay, most of the human beings use mind or brain just to think. I had this very strong belief that brain or mind is not just there to think. We can do a lot more, right? Now, this is the most powerful skill set which will help you succeed faster, right? Your mind is your most powerful tool, right? You will see a lot of people share with you that you don't really need to become a genius to succeed. I would like to contradict that. In order to succeed in today's world, you need to become a genius, right? And I'm going to share a tried and tested formula which will definitely turn you into a genius if you follow that. Okay? Now, this world is way too competitive to let non-geniuses succeed. Okay? Of course, as a non-genius, you will be able to reach certain levels, you will be able to earn certain amount of money. But again, as I said, the top billionaires of the world are geniuses. You will notice that they will call themselves, they will say that they are not genius, but all of them are. Trust me on that. It's a part of my research. So all of them are geniuses. And the best part is, some people are born geniuses, some are not. The good thing is, this is a skill which can be cultivated. You can become genius if you're not. If you already are, it's great. You can cultivate it further. You can become next level genius. Okay. So how do we do that? So I did a lot of research and I looked at a lot of different strategies, how to become genius, how to use more of your mind. Okay. So at the end of my research, I devised a specific formula, right? And how that works is, when you learn about different types of things, let's say you learn about your insurance industry in and out, and you also learn about probably how to cook food, right? How to cook really, really delicious meals. You also learn about how to become great at relationships. You also learn about how to draw, how you can create beautiful paintings. You train yourself in designing. Now, there's a reason why I'm choosing these examples. You need different kinds of brain, or let's say different areas of your. You need different areas of your brain to activate in order to do these things. A person who is creative, a person who is a designer, he needs to activate certain areas of your brain. However, a person who is a financial expert, he would activate totally different areas of your brain in order to learn those skills. So what happens is, when you learn about totally different types of things and you implement them in your life, when you become an expert at totally different areas of life, you ultimately turn into genius, right? So long back, it's a very interesting story. Long back, thousands of years back, have you heard of the statement called "Jack of all trades"? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Jack of all trades, we have somehow built a community in today's world where we don't really let people learn different types of things from different industries. If somebody's in insurance, we push them to learn only about insurance, right? When they are in some other specialized work, let's say, think of it this way: the people who specialize, they earn more in our current society. However, thousands of years back, people who specialized, for them, it was impossible to survive. It was critical to learn. If there is a lion right next to your den, you need to know how to fight a lion, how to survive in a lion attack or an animal attack. You also need to, become an expert at how to find food the next day, because we did not have grocery stores 1000 years back, right? So we learned ourselves to find food. We learned ourselves to survive in difficult situations. There were probably 50 different skills which were needed just to survive. And when you learn different types of things, you become a genius, right? So the next step, the actual step which will push you close to become a genius, is to become a jack of all trades. Okay, so specialization is good, but specialization will not make you a genius. However, the next step to become a genius would be to become a jack of all trades. You need to know a little bit about everything, whatever you can find. And what's the next step further down the line? Once you become a jack of all trades, it's important to become a master of all trades. Nobody really talks about this concept. What is a genius? Genius is a person who is master at a lot of different things. A genius is not a master of one thing, right? So when you train your mind to think in different spectrum of thinking, right? When you think like a designer, when you think like a programmer, when you think like a salesperson, when you think like a mother and father, these are all different spectrum of thinking, right? So when you train yourself on very, very different types of thinking, you activate those areas of your brain which are critical to make you a genius, right? So that is where I would like to end the presentation, saying that it's important for us to learn a lot and implement at the same time from from different walks of, let's say, different types of things from all walks of life. And when we do that, we ultimately, becoming a genius is a journey. You don't become a genius in a day or two, right? When we continue to do these things, we continue to learn new things which are of totally different genre, different types. You ultimately end up becoming a genius a few years later. Okay, so that's about it. That's the end of my presentation, and now I would be happy to answer questions if you have any for me.
Alright guys, thank you so much, Sir Shiraz. Such a wonderful, it's just my first time to hear this kind of talk now. It's just very informative and very full of passion, I can sense that you're really a genius. So we can smell each other. So by the way, guys, anyone from you, from this crowd, that you have something to ask to Shiraz, this is our opportunity to ask. So that just make sure that you guys really get something out of his presentation. So it's very timely that we need this kind of information. Right? Anyone from your courageous group? All right. Anyone? Just
anyone? Yes. I would like to share something, Sir JC, about the presentation of Sir Shiraz. I really like how he portrays a genius. Like, he always said that a jack of all trades is a master of none. So I really like how Sir Shiraz think about, or turn around the perspective of a jacks of all trades portraying as a genius. Because if you master everything, or you master many things, you are considered as a genius. So I always think about, if I want to be a jack of all trades, I always think about it like, if I'm a jack of all trades, I'm a master of none. But once I heard from Mr. Shiraz that if you are a master of if you are a jack of all trades and you want to be if you want to become a genius, you have to master many kinds of things. Like if you have to master of communication, you have to master being a parent, like what he said, or you have to master sales, you have to master people relationship, something like that. No? And I really like how he explains about the difference between external motivation and internal motivation. Now, you have to practice your mindset when it comes to internal motivation, because if the external motivation manifests on you, once you are out of that environment, you will not have the motivation at all. Compared to if you have that internal motivation, you will keep it to yourself every time you go somewhere, you will always bring that kind of motivation. No, nothing will let you down. Now, I really like that on the presentation of Sir Shiraz.
Thank you, Del. You've said it in a beautiful way. In fact, I can tell you that you are a go-getter. You're going to make
Thank you,
it.
thank you, Mr. Shiraz. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed, Del, you are a genius also, and everybody of us are genius. You know what? So a while ago, Shira said that if you have done not just one skills, two tries, you're a genius in your family, and at the same time, slash as financial advisor, slash you are owning an online business, you are considered as genius. So, and most of us here, Shiraz, is we're doing such things like many, as in many. Aside from us being a financial advisor, most of us are working outside, and most of us are handling business at the side. So, and most of us are having our families at the side. A lot of things can do more. So, as I much I am proud of these people that I'm actually thinking about. She's thinking about genius, and we're all genius. Hello. So you guys are doing exemplary. Aside from being a financial advisor, right? So is it true, no? So by the way, any questions from Shira's sharing? So anyone? Words? Any questions, guys?
I'll read some chat on our chat box, Sir JC. From Sir Richardson, yes, very, very informative, Sir Shiraz. Yeah. From Miss Loida, very informative. Thank you so much, sir. All right. Oh, yes, we have a question
Yeah.
from Imelda. Yes, Miss Imelda, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Shiraz.
Good evening.
Am I correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. As I understand, you were a former financial consultant.
Yes, that is correct.
Am I correct?
That is correct, Imelda.
What made you decide to go into another field? Considering that being a financial advisor is a very productive industry in terms of income-wise.
Okay, this is a very important question, Imelda. I would share an honest reason for it. It was a part of my genius journey, right? I wanted to learn about everything, right? And I wanted to train myself on financial industry. So the honest reason for joining insurance industry was to start somewhere to learn about finances. I wanted to learn about insurance industry, how it works, how insurance products works, the technicalities of insurance. So my main original motive of joining insurance industry was not really to create a career around around becoming a financial advisor, but to learn about the financial aspects of it. From the beginning of my starting of my life, I was very clear that I want to become a business person. I want to start my own companies, own products, own services. But I realized that in order to do that, I need the financial knowledge, and there was no better way for me to learn about financial industry than starting from the insurance company. So yes, so my purpose was not to become a financial advisor, but to learn in and out about insurance.
You mean to say you just use the industry as a stepping stone to your other goals?
That is correct. So that would be my honest answer.
So at the moment, You already found your fulfillment career-wise?
Fulfillment, it's a very good question actually. Fulfillment is not a destination. Fulfillment is a journey. You ask
Yes.
me whether I'm on a journey, on the right track. Yes, I have found my fulfillment. I feel fulfilled today, right? And I feel fulfilled every single day when I wake up. I wake up with a smile and I go to bed with a smile. For me, that is the best definition of whether you're on the right direction or not. If you don't smile before going to bed,
Yes.
if you don't feel peaceful, probably something
Yes,
is
that's
wrong,
true.
right? And I feel that peace when I go to bed. So I only do things which gives me that peace in life, including the businesses. So I'm very fulfilled. I'm very happy, and yes, I'm thoroughly enjoying the journey called fulfillment.
Thank you. And congratulations
Thank you.
for having your happiness.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Anyone
Thank
else,
you,
guys?
Imelda. Thank you. Alright. So,
Anyone else from Citrine?
yes, let me see some hands. Don't be shy. Mr. Shiraz is open to all our questions.
Absolutely. I love answering questions.
Alright. Right?
Okay, so
They might be serious. They might be shy today because everybody's speaking in English, you know.
No, that's okay. If you,
But we're using our own dialect in
So,
Filipino.
which is
Everybody's
so,
everybody's talking and unmuting themselves, interacting with one another.
yes.
if you feel
Hindi
shy,
naman, underestimate mo naman
I just want to add that please feel free to send your chat messages. If you have some questions you don't want to speak up, please feel free to send chat. I'll be happy to entertain those questions.
Alright. Guys, anyone? So,
Maybe they're still absorbing the lecture, the presentation, and they're
what if like this, Sir Tello? One thing that you got from Terceras tonight.
actually, before I share what I get from Mr. Shiraz's presentation, there's one question in the chat box, Sir JC.
Yeah,
A question from Miss Joan Babayaran, Sir Shiraz. No? So, how did you manage your very first rejection in the life insurance industry? So, this is related on your being an agent, no, on your first experience in your life insurance company.
Okay, so this is a very interesting question. In fact, I come across so many people who are so scared of rejection. In fact, it is one of the scariest thing for people. So there's no easier answer to it. The easiest way to handle rejection is facing hundreds of them, right? So the idea is to just go ahead and be in the environment where you're going to get rejection, and it's okay to feel rejected, right? And I'll share a very small story from my own life. Before I could really succeed in business, I tried over 200 different business ideas. Over 200 business ideas. Most people in business are going to try just one or two or probably 5 or 10, and then they will quit, right? So it was life's rejection on me. Shiraz, not gonna let you succeed on your business idea. I tried one, twice, third one, fourth one, and I continued to fail and fail and fail and fail. But I told myself, I want to become successful in business no matter what it takes. I continued to face the rejection of life. And let me tell you, rejection of life is way bigger rejection than your customer. Okay? So I never stopped trying different business ideas. I failed about 200 business ideas before I got my true success. It's not that all of them completely failed, of course. Some of them were able to, move a little higher, and some of them collapsed immediately. Some of them collapsed after a few years, but a lot of them collapsed. So about 200 of my ideas collapsed. I never said no. I always said, no matter what, I'm going to move forward. So those were about 200 life rejections for me. And that's when I got my true success. Right? If I would have stopped after 10 or 15 or 20 or even 100 rejections, I would have not made it to where I am today. Right? Those 200, just like Thomas Alva Edison says, he failed 1,000 times before he was able to produce a nice workable light bulb. He says those 1,000 ideas were not rejections. Those were my stepping stones. Those were my learnings. I learned 1,000 ways in which the light bulb cannot be created. Right? Only because of those 1,000 times he was able to create a successful light bulb. Similarly, after those 200 rejections which life threw at me, I was able to finally successfully create multiple businesses, not just one, but multiple businesses. Now, I have reached a point that whichever business I touch, it becomes successful. But how did I get that? I got that because of those rejections. So those rejections, every single time you get a rejection, it's going to train you something new. So don't focus on rejection. Focus on learning from that rejection. Every customer rejection is going to train you on something, and make sure that you do not focus on rejection. Otherwise, you will miss out on the learning part which that rejection will give you. So focus on the learning from that rejection so that next time you can handle rejections even better. You can learn more, you can move faster. So treat them as stepping stones.
Wow, that's a very wonderful answer from Mr. Shiraz, no?
Yeah, we have another one from Sir Philip.
Yes, Sir Philip, yes, you can unmute yourself if you have a question.
Hi, Shiraz. Actually, I was intrigued between you mentioned sales and marketing. Now I looked about the word of CRM, and I was intrigued by this. A CRM system can give you a clear overview of your customers.
Yes.
You can see everything in one place. A simple customer stable dashboard that can tell you your customer's previous history. In short, if your business is going to last, then you need this strategy. So that's the first thing I learned from you. First new thing. Thank you, Shiraz.
You're always welcome. And yes, CRM is extremely important if you want to succeed in business. It's very, very important. If you're in a business where you're dealing with just 10, 15, 20 clients, it's okay. You don't need a CRM. You can remember all the conversations, all the interactions by heart. That's okay. But if you are in a business where you have to deal with hundreds of people, there is no other way. Right? So the good thing about CRM is we can harness technology in order to succeed. Right? So if you have 10 interactions with 100 people, that makes it 1,000 interactions. A CRM will help you remember all those 1,000 interactions, but as a human mind, we won't be able to remember that. So the best part about CRM is we can give all the customers that warm, customized experiences every single time, irrespective of how many prospects and customers we have.
All right. Thank you. All right.
I'm very thankful for the CRM. We're beneficiary of that CRM, as you know.
Yeah, that's one thing we learned from you, and one new thing we learned from you, Mr. Shiraz. No, and like you said a while ago, you should, if we want to become a genius, if you want to pursue success in life, you should at least learn something new every day.
Absolutely.
Right?
To learn more about CRM, I'm willing to guide you guys because this guy, Shiraz, is more than happy to support me, and I'm willing to share it now to you guys. So we're creating something new. We're the tech guy behind this technology. So anyway, we have another questions here, Shiraz. What is your greatest motivation?
My greatest motivation is life,
Life, yes.
which I'm sure you can feel. I'm filled with life. And how does that happen? First of all, it's important to realize that every single thing which you see, experience in this life is nothing but a miracle. Just core survival that you're living right now it's no less than magic. If you just imagine that every single billions of, in fact, trillions of your cells are working really, really hard every single day to make you live right now, you have a lot of responsibility. You have to answer to those trillion cells in your body, right? So this entire universe is working towards one goal, and that is to make you live this beautiful life. Once you understand this, you're going to see magic in whatever happens in your life, good as well as the bad. Even the bad things in your life, I don't really look at them as bad things. They are equally beautiful. So once you understand this concept that everything happens in this universe for you, it is designed for you, it is designed to give you certain kind of experiences, you fall in love with everything in this life. And when you fall in love with every single thing in your life, there is no better motivation.
Wow.
Wow.
What a word.
Just like you're in love with the money.
I love money.
Yes, we all do.
Yeah. Now I understand how I should love my money. So before, every time I see money, it's evil, but now it's a different perspective from Shiraz.
Yes.
So by the way, another question from our chat box. So how many life insurance policies do you have, Shiraz?
How many do I have? I have 3 life insurance policies. One of them is a large term insurance. 2 of them are purely endowment, market linked endowment policies. So I'm planning to go and take another term policy very soon. And in fact, I strongly believe that insurance is only what you get from the term insurance, right? I don't really believe much in the endowment part of the insurance, simply because the actual concept of insurance were purely, beautifully is described by term insurance. If something happens to you, your family is taken care of. But if you're there, you don't really have to worry about it, because you can take care of your family if needed, and you can train your family to take care of themselves. So problem happens when you're not there. So that's what term insurance takes care of. So when I have to grow my money, I have way better opportunities than endowment. Right?
Wow. Right. So I think that answers Tita Lulu's questions. Any other questions, guys? Before we all right, another one. All right, this is a commendation. So what a great advice can you give us to help us become really successful in this career? So thanks a lot, Tita Emmy. So
Yeah,
anyone
thank
else
you,
before
everyone.
Shiraz is actually living his moment with us, because we're gonna have another session maybe sooner or later.
Yeah, another segment.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you, JC, I don't really do sessions like these any longer. I used to do sessions like this long back, several years back. These days, for last several years, I was fully focused on business, technical aspects of business. So I'm doing this after a long time.
Yeah, I'm very
So,
sorry
yeah.
to insist you that you.
No.
It's because I've seen a lot of potential from you. Because as I've said before, that I can sense the same person as I am. So did you know, guys, when we met together, Shiraz is actually emailing me my billing in my website. Well, what I'm after is that when I've seen his email content is different. His email is same as an email of a CEO. Then I asked a very crazy questions to this guy. Are you the owner of this platform? And he probably said yes. So then he asked me, how did you know? Then I tell him that one thing is maybe my intuition, it's my gift, and another thing is that the way you could create your content of your email is as if I am that kind of person. It is so. I'm an owner of my consultancy slash financial advisors in the Frolep UK. But I can sense the same as you are. So I even asked that questions, very crazy questions. Then I finally found that this guy same as like me. Yun nga lang, sorry. This guy is different because he's older than me, and I'm just 30, and this guy is 37. So we're just young, all right.
Yes, we are young.
So very crazy, but I mean it's an accidental mission. I believe that this is not an accident that I met you, Shiraz,
Absolutely,
because
JC.
I know that you're already not comfortable of sharing this even before this, because this is your past jobs and this is your past experience. But I
First of
can
all,
sense that you can share a lot of ideas because that this guy is very. I can sense a lot to this guy, and then I finally found out that this guy is a genius.
so JC, first of
Same as we
all,
are.
I would like to add something here, JC. First of all, I'm grateful that you invited me to this platform, and it's a beautiful pleasure. I thoroughly enjoyed being with all of you, right? So, thank you once again. And I recently learned something very, very important. Again, life continues to teach you when you're ready to learn. So, I learned that the I asked myself, or let's say I asked the higher self, that what is the purpose of my life, or what is the purpose of any life for that matter. So I got a few answers which universe gave me, and that was your purpose for this life is to learn, because learning is the only real currency which humans have. This is when you learn something, that's the only thing which you will take with you after this life, right? Everything else,
Yes.
money, materials, whatever you follow, everything is going to remain here when you leave this earth. So it's only the learning part that's the real currency. It's the learning which you're going to take with you. Okay. And then I asked, how can I, what is the next purpose of my life? So learning is fine. I'm going to take the learning with me. Is there a way that I can leave this learning as well here so that other people can benefit? And then I got the answer that this is also your purpose of life, to share whatever you learn with other people, because learning is a beautiful currency. The more you share, the more it grows. So when you continue to share with other fellow people, you're going to help everybody move faster and reach their own purposes. So it's a beautiful platform. Thank you for inviting me here, and I feel truly fulfilled that I got the opportunity to share a few things, and I hope that these few things will be able to help you move faster in your own journey.
Yes, indeed, indeed. You did a great
Yes.
job to the team.
Thank
So
you. Thank you.
I'm sure they're not gonna go back to bed without reminiscing what you have said a while ago. And I'm gonna do my reflection as well. So it's a good thing, and I have taken some notes, and that will make me more successful than you are, my brother. All right, I'm gonna follow your step, and I create another email just like this: JC at Billunify.
Yes.
You know what? I just want to share this here now that you made it as a joke. When I bought Millionify.com, I also bought Billionify and Trillionify.
Oh my! So I have I have a competition in my hosting way this time.
Absolutely.
Just kidding aside, but everybody dream is to become, not just become a millionaire, but to really successful in life. And what
Absolutely.
you have made today is like you show us how a person must be satisfied and fulfilled and love and enjoy the life that has given to us. But at the end of the day, everyone's life here is numbered. So most of us, now that we have experienced the delta, everybody and most of the numbers are putting into that untimely death. So maybe this is another moment to enjoy our families and appreciate everything that we have,
Yeah.
instead of rationalizing a lot of concerns, a lot of envy to another person. So maybe we can ask our questions. So what is my purpose at the same time? Just like Shiraz have said a while ago, that his last thing to mention is that the purpose, and what are the next purpose after fulfilling this. So what's next? So because at the end of the day, he's right. We're gonna leave everything that we have, our wealth, our everything, our cars, houses. But what matters most is we fulfilled our purpose and we enjoyed it. as much as we have breathe for the next day, even tomorrow and the other day. All right. So with that, Shiraz, thank you so much. I owe you
Thank you so
something.
much, sir.
So when everybody sets back to normal, send me an invitation. I'm gonna go to India.
Absolutely.
All right.
You're most welcome.
So
Me too. Is it free?
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Just kidding.
I want to see how the cows are crossing the streets and everybody respects that. So I don't know. I don't feel that. But here in the Philippines, everybody is crossing the streets, even snakes. Well, we don't worship them. So everybody's afraid of that. But I mean, we wanted to experience your culture, and the same way. If you've been to the Philippines, we're happy to host you. We're gonna bring you to the best places in the Philippines. So that's my promise.
Thank you. I would
All
love to
right.
visit
So
the
I owe you something about this. I don't know how can I help you in return, but I'm sure we have plans. And you mentioned it to me for the last week. Whatever your plans is, expect our support.
You have
Whether it's
already,
online or you know that.
JC, you have already repaid by giving me an opportunity to serve all of you.
Yes.
Right. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a warm greetings. But brother, I'll tell you, we're gonna have business soon.
Sure.
Expect
And
that.
feel free, if you have some more questions after the presentation, feel free to email me them.
Yes.
And I'll
Everyone, feel free to email Shiraz at millionify.com. If you wanted to be a millionaire, he's willing to make you happy.
Yes. Like what Mr. Shiraz said a while ago, think big, and then it will manifest on your life.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right, Shiraz, we don't want to waste much of your time because again, you are very busy. You're running the 3 companies that you have, and also one of our platforms. So
All right. Thank you.
thank you so much. And can we request everybody to have some pictures with this beautiful guy in India?
Yes, please open your cameras.
Yeah, Shiraz, can you turn off your sharing slide so that we can have a beautiful moment with you? First time in our history that we have invited a guy from other countries, even in despite of pandemic days, right?
Yeah,
This is going to be very memorable. All right, Sir Del, can you take some pictures?
Alright, so please open your cameras and give a big smile.
Smile.
Okay? Alright, so 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay.
All right, we have 3 pages here, so keep on
Alright, so
smiling.
keep on smiling. Next page. 1, 2, 3, smile.
Keep on smiling, even if you're bleeding.
Yes, I know it's starting, but you should smile. 1, 2, 3. Page 3, smile. Alright, thank you, beautiful
Shiraz. It's very honor. It's such an honor to invite you.
It's my
This is
honor. It is mine.
very turning point to us. So we hope when we meet again together with my team, everyone is already a millionaire.
Absolutely.
Right.
I wish that.
Yes, absolutely.
I wish that from the bottom of my heart.
Yes. And
thank you.
Shiraz, take note of these faces. They don't. I mean, as much as possible, no one should be delisted in our team. So, you are the witness of this beautiful faces with your presence, so that again, no one will just succeed on just easily giving up.
Yes.
All right. So, Shiraz, thank you so much.
I will.
And
Thank you so much, sir.
please send my regards to your family as well.
Thank you. I will.
God bless.